it's your boy, Paul Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This is your first time tuning in. Go ahead. Hit doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time I post some new content. This is just roughly a couple hours ago. Right? Today's been a busy day for me. Right. I went to the gym, then I went to the VA, whatever, trying to get some type of clarity on my left hip, right? So the results won't come back to tomorrow, right? So then they looking at, okay, well, Mr. Harris, we might need to do MRI. So I'm like, okay, that's cool too. Right. So hopefully, me personally, I'm actually really looking forward. Hopefully they'll just go ahead and say, okay, Mr. Harris, we're gonna go ahead, get your MRI done. Let's see what's really going on with your hip. Right. So now that I got that out of the way, I really ran across the whole damn that. I forget the YouTuber's name, right? And then for the most part, I really didn't. I really didn't watch. I didn't watch. I didn't watch the whole damn that 30 minutes. Because for the most part, right, I already know. I already know the true outcome, right? So for me, right, this for the most part is like really irrelevant to me. But for the most part, right, whoever did this composition compiled this combo of why white women love black men or why black men go to white women, right? To be perfectly honest, I think you can't call it race baiting because we're all the same race. That's what people fail to understand, but how it's being presented here, right? This is exactly what the fuck it is. You in a sense, you kind of race bait. So we're gonna sit up here and we're gonna listen to what we're gonna sit up here and we're gonna listen to what Becky with the good hair got to say about this whole deal. Let's go.
You know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men.
Okay. Now that right there. Now, honestly, see, this is where I'm saying where the race bait would come in at. Right? Because the average black woman be like, well, God taking girl, he ain't buy shit no way. Right? And so just because of how you said that, why the fuck you think he gonna go? He's gonna date Becky with the good hair, or an Asian woman, Filipino, or he gonna become, or a German woman, right? He gonna become a passport bro, right? Now that's one way of looking at it. That's one way of looking at it. The second way of looking at it will blow y'all's mind, but I'm not gonna tell y'all that until she finished what she has to say. Let's go.
They're not. You don't own shit. And it kind of started, way back in the day. Since we got to go way back there. You know how.
Now, here's the deal. When she said And for those of y'all that have been watching my channel enough, y'all already know what the fuck the crazy uncle is building up to. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm building up to, then 9 times out of 10, you haven't been on my previous channel. And not to say for you to go and watch every video, which that would be good, as long as y'all like it, share it, blah, 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 blah. You subscribe as well as the people that you share it to. Right? But this thing, what she's saying, like when she says way back in the day, how far back in the day are you talking about? Like, really? Or is it because, and this is another reason too, right? Is it because you actually really think certain events happened? And this is payback for the black man because of what the fuck what a lot of y'all think happened to y'all? And go get you a Becky with the good hair, right? Now I ain't gonna bullshit you. She look nice, right? But you know what my thing is this. She ain't got nan booty, not nan titty. Okay, so but everybody don't like the big booty and big titty. You know, some people might just need to want to be treated nice. Go to heaven, girl. That nigga ain't about shit. Just saying. Let's continue.
We were separated, and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right? But as you know, things evolved, got better. We started to mingle together, and that made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more. And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. I just fucking think they liked each other. And you're mad about it?
Okay, y'all. That's the rest. That's all of that. Right. Now, I done gave y'all for the most part, I done gave y'all like 2 reasons why shit may go down like how y'all think that it actually really goes down. Right? But I'm gonna tell you something, people. Y'all will sit up here and holler racism this, racism that, racism the other. But out of all of the so-called conscious, like this, with the exception of Dan Calloway, which I really hope this gets back to him, right? With the exception of Dan Calloway, because this brother, he actually really do his research. But I really wish that somebody will actually really do a video. Do a research video. I mean, great fact, I already know the real. I put like this. Everybody knows the answer to this already. If you actually really conscious enough about yourself, you should already know the answer to this question. Where did white people come from? Don't worry, I'll wait. But I can give you a hint. What the fuck you think an albino person is? Right? I'm just laying and waiting for somebody to actually be like, okay, where did so-called white folks come from? I mean, because let y'all tell it, everybody comes from us. Y'all say the white folks, but then again, I mean, how white are they really? Right? The Asian came from us. Everybody comes from us. right? But, and you know the powers that be or the powers that should be, they know this already. They know this already. So you almost got to be like, okay, well, who put all these tabs on everybody? It's just like what I said and on my previous channel, this whole name switching deal, right? People, and I feel like this, I have no problem with people saying that, hey, guess what? We're indigenous to this land, right? But at the same time, we had to come from somewhere. I mean, to say that we were already here is one thing. But another thing is like, okay, well, how did we get here? Because if it wasn't for because it was for damn sure one of those motherfucking so-called slave ships, right? But then again, here's the $64,000. Or put it like this is actually really too rich for it to be a $64,000 question. We're gonna call this the $100,000 question. During the Ice Age, right? You gotta, because basically, for those y'all you do your history, that's how you have to look at it. Put like this, because you just walked pretty much, you just went wherever Yahweh led you, right? But, or it put like this, because you gotta look at it like this, people. Depending on what you believe in, right? You can say all of this was just one big piece of land, and then it's separated, as they say in the Bible. It's over there in Genesis. I'm not gonna go get it, right? But let's say something about it's something. Oh, it's over there in Genesis, like, and the islands or the islands, Turtle Island. Shout out to Dan Calloway, but. That's when they separated. So now you actually really got to stop and think about, okay, well, how much damage, if indeed that's what the fuck you want to call it, how much damage was done? How many people were created? How many people got altered? And when I say altered, they had no melatonin about themselves whatsoever. But here's the deal. Who the fuck was you going to fault back then in the biblical days when everybody in the Bible, according to King James, now great fact, he wrote this motherfucker. Or he just actually really took what other people wrote. He put it in there, altered the shit some way, but you already know King James, he really couldn't fuck with it too tough. He couldn't. Because you got folk like myself, Dan Calloway, anybody else that actually really makes sense outside of old Dr. Umar Johnson. Right? So for the most part, right? Just like I said, I already know how this shit happened. It's all part of the plan, people. It's all part of the plan. Watch a lot of y'all sit up here and say, all right, you drunk. It's quite obvious you drunk and high. And you know what? You'll be right about both. But if you really don't understand how this shit works, what old boy said in doggone Jurassic Park, he said nature will find a way. Because nature don't give a fuck nature don't give a fuck what color you are, right? Nature gonna say, hey, guess what? I like how you look, regardless of color. And then if indeed a lot of black women are getting mad because what y'all may say, oh, they didn't flip script, right? It's not that, and I can't, because I'm married, you know, but I'm going to do this like, okay, if I wasn't married. So just look at it like this. Look at it like this. Black women, black queens, or or put it like this. Motherfucker calling yourself black women or black queens. Y'all are penny color. Copper color. Does it change the fact that you're still a queen? No, it doesn't. I'm just not finna call you a, minus the logo here, right? I'm not finna call you something that you really ain't. You are not black. See that right there? That's a black tattoo over copper colored skin. If I was black, like this goddamn tattoo, matter of fact, let's look at it. I mean, the tattoo, I didn't have had it in a while. Now, if I actually go and get this something recolored, right, it will look damn near just like this shirt that I got on here. Right? So y'all, for the most part, right, let's act like, well, Dan Calloway, he already didn't prove that. He already proved that, right? But I just look at it like this. I'm like, damn, how somebody can actually like really be black? How can somebody actually like really be white? Right? But then again, right, if you actually really pay attention to the shirt, what the fuck I got on, well, like this, none of us look like this goddamn shirt that I got on right now. And then once y'all realize that, and then really, really stop and think, okay, where did so-called white folk come from? I just told you. And then just know that couldn't nobody, who the fuck was you gonna blame back then? Unless King James and hid some shit. White folks come from us. And then that's why I said nature will find a way. It's just that for the simple fact, right, you know this shit to be true. And then you motherfucker, you switch that, you take that shit and you try to twist it. That what pisses me off. Right? No matter how true it may be. But don't twist it like that. Right? Just like what I told y'all earlier, right? According to the biblical days, everybody in the Bible was what color? And then y'all wonder why that one scientist that just died not too long ago, how about the P-52s and the P-47s? Not to say that, well, I put it like this, I already know that's bullshit. That's bullshit, right? Because you motherfuckers actually really think that this is 2026, knowing damn well it's not. So basically, all what I'm saying is this, people. And I'm just talking about the United States. Let's just say for shits and giggles, right? Since y'all want to holler about race, right? So-called race, right? Let's just say for shits and giggles, there's 300 million people in this country right to this day. How many out of the 300 million? Matter of fact, let's do this. We're going to say how many people in the United States have the same blood type, regardless, y'all could be doing this shit too, right? Regardless of race. And then guess what? So O positive, which is the most common, right? 38%, like this. If y'all can see that, because I can't see it, right? Those are the stats right there, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and read them out for you. A positive, 38, 40%. That's the most common. A positive, which I am, anywhere from 32 to 34. B positive, 9 to 10%. O negative, which that's universal. You can mix that with any goddamn thing, right? 7%. A negative, 6%. AB positive, 3 to 4%. Right? What is that? B negative 2%, AB negative 1%, which is the rares. Right? Now, watch you ignorant bastards go like, oh, there's your racism right there. Look, out of all of the percentages that I just blurted out, that's for so-called black folks, so-called white folks, so-called Orientals, Mexicans, Europeans, whatever the fuck it is, right? And then y'all wonder why I say, hey, nature finds a way. Put like this. Everybody looks a certain color because that's by design. Right? And and it's just like what I said earlier, right? Listen, we as black men, right? We get with a black woman. Look, we already know the outcome. We already know what that baby gonna look like. But it's just for the simple fact, like I just look at it like this: the darker you are, and you try to lighten up your side of the family, where the fuck you gonna go? But then again, that could be a fucked up way of looking at it, right? But if all color comes from us, so-called black people, I'm just saying, all of this shit, to be perfectly honest with you, if you really want my truly honest opinion, we're all the same goddamn color, people. We're all the same goddamn color. If you want to go if y'all want to look at this as the true origin of man, of how he once was, then it's by design. It's by design. We were once tall, then we became short. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that at one time that we wasn't this color. I'm not gonna say that. But let's just say for shits and giggles, that's what the fuck happened. We tall, blacker than a motherfucker. We got shorter. As soon as we got shorter, we got motherfucking lighter. And lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Right? Until we was like, hey, what the fuck? Who fucking who and why? And then all that bullshit, y'all always talk about, okay, they was in the mountain of Caucasus. So how the fuck they get there? Y'all never talk about that. Y'all always talk about, where white folks come from. But then again, and then y'all say the Mountain of Caucasus, and then okay, so the $100,000 question should be this: how did they get there? How did they get there? Unless the people down in the village saw some shit that they ain't never seen before. They kept that shit on hostage, right? And if any more come up like this, because we motherfuckers already like, okay, hey, guess what? Who fucked who? Here. I'm just telling you, you know, I mean, you know, what I'm saying right now, this is speculation, right? But then again, if you just listen to what Becky with the good hair had to say, right? It's got to be some truth in there somewhere, because how come they always go to the goddamn tanning booth? Huh? How come they always go to the tanning booth, both men and women? You know, just out of the blue. This is like, okay, how many of y'all remember the Druids? Because they were an actual group of people, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Go look at anybody. Hold on. Listen, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna get out of here. Was there? Because, and see, that's why I like Mel Brooks, because you know, Mel Brooks, he put out a lot of shit. Go back and watch Spaceballs, people. Was there? I'm just saying this just because, right? Was there a race of people? Get out of here. Named the Druids. Hopefully I can say this right. The Druids. The Druids. Okay. Well, Google is, you know, I'm not like, well, Google says no. Right? Or they, or, you know, I ain't going deep enough, you know, because Google is always going to tell you too much, right? But go back, watch the movie Spaceballs. They actually really talk about that shit, you know. Now, unless Mel Brooks lied about the shit, you know, but funny this, if you want to call them, you want to call them, you call them what you will, call them albinos or whatever, and then you know, the freckles when they beat out in the sun too long, right? Then the melatonin starts coming, and then you get motherfuckers get freckles. Right? So, you know, but my whole deal is, depending on how y'all look at this, depending on how y'all look at what Becky with the good hair said, right? You know, and then you go back and look at what the fuck the Bible says about the main characters in the Bible. Go back and look at what color they were. Right? And then when you actually look at all of this as a whole, right? We're all the same. Look at this. We are all the same goddamn color, people. I go, put like this. Y'all just watch, because I know some coffee here somewhere. Right? So, so basically what I'm going to do, right? I'm not going to say it's going to be tomorrow, but just know this. Well, fuck what I'm going to do tomorrow. Hell, I might be too busy. So this is what the fuck. Anybody that's gonna watch this video, right? And if you got for those, especially for those y'all that got coffee, if you don't drink coffee, goddamn it, go buy some coffee, right? Boil it as is. And then if you got some milk or some creamer, if you can, right, just do a drop every once in a while and watch this shit change color. Right? And then if you can actually really afford it, go on, put the whole motherfucking bottle of creamer in there, and then you tell me what color that coffee is gonna be before it's too long. When it's all said and done, go back, go get some coffee, go get you a glass bowl or something where you can actually really see the shit change. And then you ask yourself, you know what? Crazy uncle, you are absolutely right. We are all the same goddamn, we are all the same color. It's just with these motherfuckers, the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be, they'll sit up there and tell you otherwise. No, they're a different group of people. If you actually really go back and look at it, go listen. The original people guess what? Depending on what the fuck you eat or what, they have a straight. They have a straight. So for the most part, whatever the fuck they eat versus that, I mean, I don't know, but my thing is, okay, if I'm looking at the Native American and his hair or their hair, and then why they wonder why they call the other motherfucker the Buffalo Soldier, if indeed that actually really happened. Okay. So they say you one of us, but you lack melatonin. You still one of us. But you lack melatonin. But the thing about it though is this. If you for what's right and not for personal gain, right? Then I ain't got no motherfucking problem with you. 21 years, United States Army. I just served with anybody. I served with anybody and everybody. Of ethnic background, or the ethnic group. I never said race. I never hollered race because I know better. I know better, y'all. So hey, I think I said the exact same thing enough for y'all to get it. But hey. So with that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your dad, tell your birthday, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross the street, round the corner, Paul's Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.